You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
That's right, my favorite corporate thug motivator.
Gary Vaynerchuk. Did I say that right?
You did, my man.
Okay.
Gary V, what's happening, my brother?
Yeah, from here on out, you are Gary V.
Gary V, absolutely.
Everybody
Gary
defaults
V.
into Gary V.
I mean,
it's a hell of a lot more fun than Vaynerchuk.
Absolutely.
That's all your social media anyway.
That's true. That's true.
Now, you're an entrepreneur, investor, author, but just tell the audience, what it is you do exactly.
I'm a businessman. Now it's called an entrepreneur. I was born in Russia, grew up in my dad's liquor store, hustler, baseball cards, lemonade, just that kind of kid, selling blow pops in school. Took over my dad's liquor store in Springfield, New Jersey, and launched one of the first e-commerce wine businesses in America over in Jersey, and built my dad's business from a $3 to a $65 million business. And then I started a YouTube show when YouTube was 4 months old, thought it was going to be a big thing. It popped. Then I thought Twitter was going to be big. This time I learned from seeing YouTube sell for $2 billion. I said, this time I'm going to invest.
Right. Yeah.
And so I invested in Twitter. Then I decided to invest in Tumblr, then Facebook. So I made a couple of bucks. Then I gave a speech at a conference that went viral. Stop watching. Am I allowed to curse on this?
Yes,
go ahead.
Good. Stop watching Lost, which is just my whole thesis. So many people listening right now, if you're complaining, look, if you're happy and you've got student loans and you've got mortgages and you work 2 jobs, but you're happy, good. The problem is there's so many millions of people just sitting around complaining, and then they go play Madden for 4 hours.
I agree with that.
Right?
I totally agree with that.
Again, I want to clarify this because we had a clip the other day and everyone's like, yeah, okay, whatever, it's all about money, whatever. No. Just to set the record straight, if you are listening and you're complaining, then you got to audit yourself. You can't watch House of Cards. You can't play ball all day. Yeah. You can't go to ballet shows. You got to work.
You can't watch reality TV all day.
You really can't.
I always tell people, if you're going to keep on complaining, do something about it. So if you're not happy and all you do is complain about it, nothing's happening.
And here's the thing. Your grandpappy didn't have Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook.
Or Netflix.
He didn't have that either. But Netflix is taking time away. There are thousands of people right now making money building social media followings and then slanging other products, and they went from being like a pretty girl or a good-looking guy to making $100,000 a year, or being somebody who was funny in the office to now making clips on YouTube and making $1 million a year. This is real. I'm triple mad because complaining always sucked. But complaining really sucks now because, again, our grandparents didn't have the options we have. We live in a 24/7 world. You can make money in your underpants when you get back home from your waitress job.
But there's a lot of people that would say how. And the reason I say that is, with you, your dad had a business and he taught you how to.
Well, he didn't. So
he taught you. So a lot of people out there that don't have somebody out there, they say, well, how do you start?
Let's set the record straight. You're right. But when I was 13, my dad worked every minute. I didn't see him. I had entrepreneurial skills. I made $3,000 a weekend selling baseball cards because I had it. How? LeBron has talent, and so he can be one of the greats in the NBA, right? Somebody could be just good around the way at the park. If he shoots for 10 hours a day, he can be the best version of himself. I'm not saying that everybody who's listening is going to go make a Billy or go be Zucks or go be Travis. What I am saying is it practical, real practical, to make an extra 5, 10, 50, 80K now? It is. How? Put in the work, watch YouTube videos, learn how to do it, try, test. I did 18 months of my YouTube show and nobody gave nobody. And then it broke through. But I did it every day because I believed in it. And so the first thing they have to do, DJ, is they have to take a step back. And
it's envy.
I know, respect envy, sorry. Envy.
Go Gary V over there.
Envy, the thing they got to do first is they got to take a step back and go, what am I best at? Am I funny? Am I good looking? Am I clever? Do I know a lot about horse racing? What do I know? What do I got? And then they got to start telling the world.
And that's interesting because that instant gratification, I think, really hurts people too. Like you said, it took 18 months for you to break through. Sometimes people expect to see results immediately, and that doesn't always happen.
I watched your video the other night. You said there's no overnight successes video.
Look, I think patience is real, right? Look, think of, if you guys just sat for 5 minutes right now you guys are at the top of the game, and everybody's like, oh, you guys put in work. You had to be patient. You ate a lot of.
We almost got fired.
I'm sure you did. Look, no matter what, whether it was handed to you, you're only as good as your last at bat. You know what I mean? You're at the top one day and then you're not. right? Like you're the biggest comedian in the world, and then you have 3 movies that blow, and nobody gives a shit anymore. Like you're only as good as your I guess this is what I'm pushing for. You do you. I'm not judging. Who the hell am I to judge? Here's what I'm saying. You get one life.
Mm-hmm.
You've got this is America. And by the way, I'm not naive to like females, race, things like that. It's harder, but if there's anybody on earth that looks like you that's made it, that means you can too.
The executive producer of Celebrity Apprentice is the GOP nominee.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, well, listen, I mean, look, I think we're living in a time where that's like up here, right? And you're right, like big things up here, but like the practicality of making $5,000 to $50,000 more by understanding what Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube do, that's real. That's for 10,000 people that are listening right now. To make 10 million, to make 50 million, I'm trying to buy the New York Jets. Is that for everybody? No. That's for Kobe. That's for LeBron.
Giants. You should do the Giants.
Never.
Giants.
Never envy.
But
you know, like, but you know, that's because I got gifted. Like, I'm not good because my dad had liquor store. I'm good because my mom and dad had sex at the right second and gave me the right DNA.
But you know,
Outliers.
Go ahead, Sean.
What are the first steps to starting a business for somebody who doesn't have money?
When you don't have money, you have time. That's why, Ange, that's what I went back to. Like, please don't watch 11 episodes of The Kardashians on Saturday afternoon. Like, please go watch 4. Here's what you do. There's something, I'm going to spell it out for you. GOOGLE. Go to Google and type in, how do I make money? How do I start a business? There's a lot of things you can do. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that you can do. And you know, it's funny, when I think about hip hop and just the context of this a little bit, it's the same DNA as selling cassettes from the back of the trunk. Like, you're either going to work it or you're not. You're either going to figure out how to scrap up enough money to get in studio, make something, and then sling it around the way and hope. And if you got talent, you'll be discovered. And back then, Dre or somebody else had to put you on. Now, you put on SoundCloud, you get an Instagram celebrity to put you on, and away you go. So there's a million ways to do it. There's a million ways. Look, let me give you, you know what? Instead of being rah-rah motivation guy, let me go real practical. Let me give you a couple things. You know the dollar store? Mm-hmm. Cool. Do you know that if you go to the dollar store and you search everything they have in the store on your phone, on eBay, that you will find 7 to 15 items every time that are selling for $5 to $10 a piece on eBay, and you can buy for $1 right on the spot.
Damn.
So what I would do, if you're listening, is go to the dollar store, go to Job Lot, take a look.
Five Below.
That's right. Go look, take pictures. You got the Amazon app. You can even scan the barcode. It goes even quicker. You find something that's $3 there, you see that's selling consistently. Make sure you go to sold items, not what it's listed for. I'm giving you all the details now. Do how I taught my brother how to make money. Wake up at 5 a.m. every Saturday, go garage sailing, buy people's old for $1 and fling it and make $200, $300, $400, $500, $600, $700, $800 a weekend from garage sailing. Then you bought a bunch of shit on Saturday, Sunday. Don't watch the Golden State and Spurs game. List that on eBay, right? Then you're working 9 to 9, 2 kids, welfare, I don't know, mortgages, student loans. I respect, but it's listed on eBay because, again, you didn't watch the Golden State Warriors game. Now look, now somebody's going to say, oh, it's all about the money. No. One more time before we get it too twisted. Well, if you're complaining, if you're unhappy, if you're good, work-life balance, leisure, playing games, going to every movie, every Friday night, the new movie, good. I'm so happy because, listen, I got friends that make $10 million a year. They're miserable as
mm-hmm. But you know
they're not doing what they love?
They're just, they got all sorts of problems.
But you know what it is and I agree with you wholeheartedly. The problem is, especially in our community, the black community, is our families, 9 times out of 10, raise us to work 30 years of our life, then retire, and then basically try to live off our retirement, which is not working at all. Nobody... like for my dad never taught me how to make $1. He just taught me he worked all his life, and that's what he assumed. My son will have it a little differently.
Yes.
But so for that person that's starting off, I mean, I like the fact that you're giving people ideas because there's a lot of people out there that feel like, all I have is $100. How can I invest?
Exactly.
And they don't know where to go. And they see, well, I can't go in the stock market because if I try to buy a McDonald's stock, it's going to be one stock, one share.
One share.
So, I mean, I think that's good. I think giving people, hey, like you said, go to the dollar store, put it on eBay. It costs you absolutely positively nothing to do.
But you say everybody's not an
I
entrepreneur.
went to Mount Ida College. 99% of the kids that I grew up with and went to college with were from the hood. Like, I became a man when I went there. I was a student. I got D's and F's. Right? Mm-hmm. I grew up in an immigrant family. I was a hustler. I grew up in this community. Let me tell you something about white America too. 99% of them are taught to go get a job too. Mm-hmm. That's what school does. Like that's
bad.
No. Mm. Why do you think I'm trying to get real loud, and I don't and I don't care. Like, I'm already good. And I don't mind people being like, oh, easy for, like, that's fine. I'll take all the haterade. I'm thrilled. Hate. If I can get 3 kids to be like, I'm gonna go, like, dude, that guy got me. Like, if 2 kids are texting right now and be like, yo, you hear this Gary V whatever guy? Let's go to the dollar store tomorrow. If 2 kids go to the dollar store tomorrow, figure out the game that I learned as a kid. You know what my biggest game was? I went to the dollar store and bought Shaquille O'Neal figures. When they came out, I don't know why the dollar store even had them, because they were still in stores.
Right.
I used to go to Phillipsburg Mall in New Jersey, buy Shaquille O'Neal figures for $1, and then walk across the mall and return them to Kmart for $8.99 in cash.
Well, that's illegal. Don't tell people to do that.
I will tell them to do it. Hey, listen, in the beginning, and I mean this, by the way,
I did
in the
that too for
beginning,
Timberlands, but go ahead.
hey, in the beginning, when you don't have anything, you know, like, you gotta work.
It's better than selling drugs.
And
Yeah,
listen,
no,
and by the way, that's
better than scamming.
Listen, scamming to me is the one, like, a lot of people, by the way, on that, thanks, Ange, on Instagram right now, all these guys who've got these pictures of girls and jets and bottles, and they're like, do this, and they're scamming, and they're doing all this bull. That's what I'm trying to push against. The reason I appreciate you putting me in that corner, Emmy, for this interview. Like, I've got plenty of other things besides the dollar store. I'll give you another one where you don't even have to leave your home. While you're on the bus for 2 hours, you can do this on your phone. Buy on eBay and repost it on Amazon. And if you don't know how, go to Google. How do I set up an eBay account? How do I set up an Amazon account? Because more people are buying on Amazon now than eBay. You could buy like a $10 hat on eBay for $10, but it's selling for like $13 consistently on Amazon. I mean, I'm just giving you real
That's
straight.
great. That gives people
right?
that gives people
I'm
hope.
trying.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
trying.
One thing you say, Gary, that everybody isn't an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So how do you know when you're not one? Because everybody
Usually
You sit at home and watch TV all day and don't do anything.
That's for sure. Or you scrounged up all your money and you started a business and it failed, and then you did it again and it failed. Like, results. Like, how do I know that I'm not an NBA player, even though really, really badly I want to be? Because what happened on the court? Because I got clowned. Because I'm 5'9". Like, that's why. Like, how do you know? If you're curious, you're listening, and you want to, you go out and try. And if you fail, that shouldn't be the end of it. But if you're on your third, you're done. And more importantly, if you grew up, especially back to, I mean, you said our community, if you grew up where you didn't have a lot of stuff, and in high school, you weren't trying to sell, then you're already probably not there. I think it's a very big DNA thing. If you weren't the kid trying to flip Reese's Pieces or burn, back in the day, burn on CDs and try to flip it.
Mixtapes.
Mixtape, things of that
did that.
nature, then
Absolutely.
you're probably not that. Listen, and you might be a different kind of guy or gal. Like if your thing was like CeeLo and spades, then you're that kind of entrepreneur. But I think selling stuff is the biggest tell.
There's drug dealers out there that are like, yes, but
Because
they don't know how to
because-
sell. But they don't know how to sell nothing but drugs.
But you know what? But what's so funny about that is they're entrepreneurs. What's so funny? And I listen again. Two of my 6 best friends in college are in jail for the rest of their lives. And I used to tell these kids all the time when I was a kid. I was like, look, the same. Like, I would watch kids break down things and sell nicks because they realized they made more money that way. And I was like, look, the same way you're thinking about weed is the same way you could think about business. It's the same skill. It's the same skill. Your brain is thinking that way. You understood that if you bought an ounce and you broke it down more carefully for a nick, you made $58 more.
Right.
But you know what you had that they didn't have? Patience. Because the money comes faster
I'm super
with the
patient.
drugs than it would with baseball cards.
You know what? Listen, I also like culture. Like, I had an immigrant dad who worked in a liquor store, so that's what I saw. Like, I didn't like Edison had good diversity, but I didn't grow up. I mean, my friends grew up in it, right? So it's what they saw. It's the branding. There's a lot of things, but it doesn't change the fact that a couple things are going on. First of all, thank God for hip hop. Our world's in a different place. When you're a kid now, there's so many more people to look up to. You look what's happening. Like, think about hip hop 20, 30 years ago. It was more about who's the toughest.
Yes.
Now it's about who's the entrepreneur.
There you go. Right.
I feel it. I feel it all the time. The emails I get from the content I put out. I mean, and because I grew up in it hardcore in my teens, it's different. Now it's like in 1993, 1994, every one of my friends wanted to be the toughest. Who was the toughest?
Right.
Now they want to make
list.
who makes money.
Who makes the
right?
most, right.
Like Jay-Z and P. Diddy and all
Dr.
these
Dre,
characters,
yeah.
they're making money. Dr. Dre, now even the biggest rap stars in the world, I spend a lot of time with A-list celebrities, they're even like, yo, I'm looking for my beats. Like, I'm making tens of millions, I want to make billions. How am I going to find my beats? I'm like, I don't know. You got to find it.
I also think it's, with parents as well. I think parents should tell their children about what's going on with finances. My son, he plays the Madden game, and he wins coins, and he sells the coins. And he was putting so much money in my PayPal account that I thought he was selling drugs. I was like, you got to show me exactly what you're doing. And he makes a lot of money doing it. But, he questions everything. Dad, how much you make? How much is the mortgage? Well, what do you have to put in savings? He's 12. Well, what do you have to put in this? And I can see him on that road because, his sister borrowed $1,200 from him to buy a bag. But the kid is 12 years old. Yeah, she bought a bag, Louis Vuitton bag too. But he is.
Is she gonna pay him back?
Well, probably
we'll
not.
See.
But we have to teach our kids at a young age what the finances are about, so they can.
Let me tell you another thing. Unlike the 4 of us, the 7 of us in this room, these kids can go to Google.
Yeah.
So your son's lucky he's got you. You can have that convo.
A lot of people's parents don't
That's
really
right.
know enough
And
to
so,
a lot of
even
people's
if they're
parents
not
are in
making money,
debt. They don't have savings.
But they should know, hey, credit card, I make $10,000 a month, and I have to pay a mortgage, a car note, the credit card bills. I got to pay child support. They should tell their kids so they know where the money's going, so they know how to save and spend.
My mom be asking me to help her with stuff.
Yeah, I think, on that note, this is where my, not frustration, honestly, I hope everybody who's listening, this is not angst, this is excitement. My friend Tokyo Joe, my friend Moose, their parents didn't know when they came to that. But
my parents didn't.
These kids, literally, if you're 15 right now and you're listening and you're like, yeah, my mom's and dad, they don't know. But YouTube does, but Google does.
That's how I actually learned how to buy a house. I had to teach myself everything.
Me too. I
had to do everything.
Me too. By the way, I'm all fancy. I didn't know. I failed every class I ever took. I learned everything in my 20s and 30s on Google and YouTube.
Now, you always say empathy is one of your keys to business success, which is interesting because most corporate people, rich people, are cold-hearted tycoons. Why is empathy one of your keys to business success?
Because if you're given more than you're taking, you got leverage for life. And so a lot of my business advice and why I'm putting myself out there is I know, again, I'm real selfish with my giving. I'm real selfish. I know there's 6 kids who are listening today who are going to the dollar store and are going to make bank and are going to email me in 3 years and they're going to learn and they're going to make it. And in 19 years from now, when they're talking on stage, how they made it out of the hard hood of St. Louis, they're like, you'll never believe how it happened. I was listening to Breakfast Club. This guy I never heard of said, go to dollar store. I learned how to buy and trade. That gave me the foundation. I went to the stock market. And so I'm empathetic because I'm with you. You're right. Not everybody has it given to them. Not everybody has the clear path. Some people listening right now don't have a mom or dad at all, period. Forget about advice. So there's a million different versions. Both my parents lost a parent before they were 15 years old. Russia was hard the way my parents grew up. It's a lot of different out there. I'm empathetic because I don't want to be blind. Because I don't want to sit here on my pedestal and be like, do this. Anybody can do it. I do believe it because I think the internet changed the game.
Right. I saw this 17-year-old kid who made millions of dollars reselling sneakers. He has his whole resale business.
Let me save you time. Let me save you time. There are, let's break it down, tens of thousands of kids. Why do you think people stay in line to get new Jordans?
The reselling.
That's right. Half of them want to look fly and get a girl, cool, legit.
Probably more than half.
By the way, smart move. But plenty of them are in line to make money.
Right.
And when you have no money, you got one thing: your time. And that's what I'm unwavering on this. Unwavering. If you're complaining, you've got your time. You want to wake up and go to garage sales? There's so much money in garage sales, it'll make your head spin. You want to wait in line outside of Foot Locker and flip it? God bless. There's a million ways to do it. You just got to decide that you're not going to. People are like, who do you think's going to win? Who's going to be the president? I'm like, I don't give a. Neither one of those two are going to affect me. You think Trump or Clinton are going to affect me? I'm going to get mine, period, regardless.
I think you said patience is the major thing. Charlamagne said that earlier. I think people don't have patience. Because even what you said, the garage sales, I can see somebody saying, well, I got to buy this for $1 and I sell it for $5, all I make is $4. But they don't have the patience.
By the way, they make
$260.
$260. By the way, they're going to make $260 because eBay's going to take theirs and the post office is going to take theirs. But guess what? Guess what? It's $260 more than you had.
Right? No, you're right.
Well, let's backtrack a little. You said that neither president is going to affect you. The first thing I can hear people saying is, well, you're white.
And guess what? Let me
minorities will be like.
Let me answer real quick.
Okay.
And they're right. I'm not confused being a white dude in America is Lotto. By the way, the people. I'm serious. like if you want me, if you want to know who pisses me off the most on earth,
Right.
I actually think there should be a law that if you're a white dude in America, that you should go to jail if you complain.
Gary V. He's right.
I'm serious,
You
Shot.
got- 'cause you got such a head start.
But I'm gonna say it right now, right here, in the black community, your mom and dad had it way worse. Your grandparents had it way worse, and I don't even want to go there behind them. We are now in a place because of hip hop culture, because every white kid, I'm 40, I grew up in it. I got converted. Yo, MTV Raps changed my life. Like it changed. Different. There's a lot of brown, black, Asian, like women on. I'm making more money on my women entrepreneur. Let's get into the female thing in tech world. That's a whole nother thing. Like it's easier. You know why? Because the old white dude doesn't control it no more. The internet fixed racism. Internet doesn't give a if you're black, white, transgender from Mars. It's a market. So they're right. Yes, it's easier. But let me tell you something else. All the people that just sit behind a computer and buy on eBay and sell on Amazon, Sally in Arkansas, when she buys the Louis Vuitton sweatshirt that you bought for $80 on eBay and she bought it for $90 on Amazon, she doesn't know that you're from Newark.
All right.
So, like, look, I'm practical about this. And the reason I'm hyped is because I know it's real. And the reason I'm really hyped is I've written 4 business books, put out 1 billion videos, and I get emails every day. Every day. I lost my parents, like sad. Like forget about the real shit like racism and gender and all that stuff. Like people that have it way like the worst, they lost it like real bad. I was in a foster home. Like I was in a dumpster when I was 1 year old. I hated life. I did drugs. I was bulimic. I saw a video. I went to the dollar store or I started the Instagram account and like you told me to look, let me actually break it really down. We can sit here and talk about macro and stuff all day. Here's the punchline. Nobody gives a
Talk to him about that. I love when
nobody gives a like that's the problem. Like you're right that it's easier to be a white man. The problem is nobody gives a if you're from the ghetto transgender with one eye. That's the problem. The market doesn't care.
Gary Vee curses more than Scarface did, by the way.
Gary said once, and I loved it. He said,
It's true, though.
you told this kid at South by Southwest, your feelings. You said, adjust to the way things are and stop
I
complaining
was
about how
crying
things.
that he wanted to start a weed business in Texas. I was
Yeah.
like, move to Denver. like he was like, when they gonna change the law? I'm like, 19, pick up a car, like take a bus ticket, get to Denver and start. Like people cry. Look, I'm an immigrant. And like as my dad said to all my black friends as they came through during college, because that's who my homies were, he laughed at those guys when they walked into my house. He was like, try being Jewish in Russia after the World War. Both my grandfathers spent 10 years in jail for
Yikes.
being Jewish, straight up,
Wow.
inside Siberia. So I'm not crying for anybody. Like I listen, yes, but I'll say it again, if somebody did it, like if J. Cole did it, well, J. Cole is talented. Maybe you're not talented, so you got to find your thing. Like everybody now wants to be an entrepreneur, just like everybody 20 years ago wanted to be a rapper. Like you're not good enough. Your flow blows. Like you can't do it, right?
That's why I tell kids they dream sometime.
Listen, have a dream, but you can't be. You got to pull it opposite direction, Shah. You got to have a dream, but you've got to be practical.
Yeah.
You've got to be practical. But going back to that, the problem is like complaining about it.
See, I don't believe in
don't
F
do
your
nothing.
dreams. I don't believe in F your dreams.
I didn't either. You heard what
I
I said,
believe
right?
in F
The
your
reason I say
dreams
that-
if it's
the reason
not
I say
your
that is
dream.
because I feel like what he said, like if you're gonna put the time into it and really put the work, if you're gonna go out there and shoot 10,000 jump shots a day, you're putting the time into it.
Yeah, but the problem with
you
these
can't
kids
just say F
sometimes.
your dreams
The
because
problem with
Here's
these
the thing,
kids
though.
me.
I wanted to be the quarterback of the Jets or play point guard for the Knicks. The problem was after I put in the time, I was like, okay, that's not me. Like like I said, you got to pull at both sides. And by the way, let's take it all the way back, because I want to ground this because we went momentum for several minutes this way. You got to know yourself first. It's about self-awareness.
That's it.
Not everybody needs fat watches and the whip and private jet. Like, what makes you happy? How about you just love being around your family? Like, I'm going to say this because it's real. I grew up with a lot of people that have not gone on to like crush. I have friends who make $50,000 a year. They're on the softball team. They play Madden. They watch House of Cards.
And they're happy.
and they're happy.
And they're so damn happy.
Right.
They get to spend time with their little kids. They go on vacation.
It's about your own happiness.
They got to take a connecting flight.
Right.
Land in Charlotte to get to Orlando. But you got to know you. I want to own the Jets. And so I don't get to complain
Since you
about
couldn't
working.
make the team, why
Right,
not?
that's right. Around 6th grade, I was like, you know what? I ain't making this team. F it, I'll buy it.
Well,
Yeah,
let's
but
talk about that.
But
Let's
that's how I am, and I think, like you said, I want to own it all. Like I want the building, the room. I want the building, but that's just because that's what inspires me. Like I won't sleep, and people are like, well, you gotta sleep. I can't sleep.
And so what you and I know is, you know what? Sometimes that means you're going to miss something that your 12-year-old boy is going to do, and that hurts, and you want to be
does.
there. But you just like, look, like I can't be politically correct. People are like, oh, you're on Snapchat, I'm working 18 hours a day. Like last night, my last snap was at midnight, and listen, Snap did me a huge favor. That timestamp, I'm like, yeah.
You invested in Snap too, right?
I'm going to snap at midnight. I'm going to snap you again at 5 a.m. and be like, what? I'm not sitting up here. Like, I'm telling you I do. I'm telling you that I do.
Now,
I didn't make it, and now I'm chill. Like,
it's
I'm
crazy you
doing
said
it.
that.
Look, a book of yours
Yes.
is Crush It, right?
Yes.
It's about cashing in on your passion.
Yes.
A lot of these kids, they hear y'all in here talking about buying these different things from the dollar store, but none of
Yes.
that sounds like a passion. How do you find your passion?
That is a question I've been at. So that book came out in 2009 and exploded and put me on the scene, right? And so as you can imagine, everybody calls me and like I get thousands of emails a week. How do I find my passion? And literally I reply, I don't know. I don't. I would tell you my punchline is, what would you do if you could just do it all the time? I actually do that. I sell. Like that was like, as you know, when in 3rd grade, 4th grade, I went to the mall, I bought a baseball card, I shoveled snow and did lemonade so I can get money to go buy a Krausers, go buy baseball cards, then open it, then trade them, make more money. That my hobby is being a businessman. Now look how amazing the world is. Do you know how many kids right now are making real bank on Twitch playing video games all day?
Yeah.
So like, look, if your whole life's about smoking weed and drinking Mountain Dew and playing video games,
You could make some
Mazel
money.
tov, because
Yeah.
the world went in your favor. Like, look up. Like, this is back to why I get so mad. If you're 12 to 20, white male or not, anybody, what you got gifted to you, basically the internet is the white man card. It opened up for everybody. Like, can you imagine playing video games all day is now something people are going to make millions and millions
Yeah,
of
the things
like
your parents used to yell at you
The
for.
Kobe's and LeBrons are going to make tens of millions of dollars. But you, like good from around the way guy, good at AAU, you can make 10,000, 25,000 because a lot of people are going to watch you play Mario Kart and you're going to make ads on your Twitch channel. So, Shah, the only answer I have that's even somewhat of an answer, and I'm kind of because I got to know you directly one by one and we got to talk it through. But what would you do if you could do like it all day, like you do nothing else? For example, a bunch of people I'm sure that listen to the show, I'm going cliche and I'm stereotyping, but if you love music and you would listen to music all day, good. Start a music blog, start a SoundCloud channel, start mixing music against pictures and videos and like putting it out there. I mean, you think these DJs thought these EDM DJs 15 years ago thought they were going to make this kind of money?
Hell no.
Like, you remember AM? Like, you think those guys thought they were going to make $1 million? You think Khaled thought he was going to make this kind of money?
But can your passion be making money? Can that be a passion? Some people don't have an individual, I need to do this. I just love making money. What's wrong with that?
The hustle.
No, that's what I am.
Right.
My dad had a liquor store. If he had a tire store, I would have been the tire king of America. If he,
I agree with that.
if he had a jacket store, I would have been the man.
Because some people say you
If my
have
dad
to
was
have a
Jacob the
profession.
jeweler, then that's what I would have done.
Hard work or talent, what's more important?
Hard work.
Yeah.
You know why? And I'll tell you why. I'm going to flip it on you. The real answer is talent. Talent's a variable. But the reason hard work is more important is because everybody that's listening, they can't just hang up now and say, okay, I'm going to get my talent up. But they can all get their hard work up. You can,
They always say hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
that's right. And look, I love sports. Why does the number one pick every year, like, why are they busts? Like, they had the NBA and the NFL drafts on talent. It's size, it's speed, it's talent. But they don't have the heart. They don't have the hustle, right? And that's why number one picks bust all the time, because they're soft when it comes to crunch time. So the reason I say hard work, Shah, when you ask me that, is because everybody, every kid, every girl, every guy, no matter your situation, find out the one thing you have is time, and you can work harder. And maybe mom and dad didn't have a whole lot of talent, didn't pass that much talent to you, and you're meant to be a C player at your max. But guess what? It's better than being a D player. It's better than being an F player, and it's definitely better than being a Z player.
Now, if you said something, it's not about the hustle. Like you said, the process is what drives you, not the money.
Yeah, I got lucky, man. Like, again, I love the game. Like, it's like I look at the athletes that play until like they're really, really, really finished, and I'm like, that would have been me. I would have been really, really washed the f- up. Because I love the game. So like I grew up thinking, oh man, I wish I was an athlete. Man, now that I'm friends with a lot of those guys, you're done doing what you were most gifted at 35, 36. I'm 40, and I'm just now starting to get my together to be the kind of iconic, like being a business person, you get to do it for life. And so, I think that I love the process. I'm all fancy and I've done well, but like I've left plenty. I'll give you an example. I passed on Uber twice. That aforementioned Crush It. Everybody at home, if you go to like Amazon and click the download thing, because I don't want you to spend money, just go look at the acknowledgments. It's my first book ever. I thank my entire family and one random dude, the founder of Uber, my homie Travis. He starts at Uber with my other buddy Garrett, and I don't invest in the company twice.
Why not?
Because I didn't think they were going to run it. They hired another guy, and this is true. Uber started as a side hustle. They had an idea, and they hired somebody to run it. It exploded in San Francisco. Had I wrote a $25,000 check into that company like I did the other companies, it'd be worth $300 million.
Jesus Christ.
Now you have to understand, this is my homie. He's acknowledged in my book. Like my man. Like,
You should have gave him that money on GP if that was your man.
you're damn right. And I'm glad the market punched me in my mouth. I deserve it. I'm driven by it. I'm hungrier. Got it?
Is that why you grab everything
Envy, you're
now?
100% right. Look at this. And show him. I got goosebumps.
Yeah, it does.
I got goosebumps because you're 1,000%. I deserve that L. My man, I deserve that L. You know how like Rocky lost to Mr. T because he was flashing and flaunting? Like that's what I love about this game. Like I said, it doesn't matter where you were yesterday. It's just, right? Like, and listen, you guys know music better than me. I'm asking you. I know sports. Like, if you're the hottest thing, if Kendrick Lamar drops the album of all time next,
Nobody cares.
it's gonna be a problem, right?
Right.
You're only as good as your last at bat. So I never count my chickens. I don't think I'm fancy now that things are going well. Like I'm still hungry as I'm like hungry forever.
You invested in Snapchat too, right?
But late.
Okay.
And at least I think I'm gonna do well, but I invested in the last round at $15.5 billion valuation. It's not like I got it on the come up.
Gotcha.
I got Tumblr on the come up. That was a big exit.
What do you
for
think
me.
of Lyft?
I like Lyft, but I mean, Uber's really winning. And obviously Travis is my boy, and Uber's winning. So, but good for Lyft. I give Lyft a lot of credit for finding their niche within it. Both those companies are burning cash. They're not making money. So when the stock market collapses and everything gets recalibrated, it'll be interesting to see who goes out of business and who's still around.
Right.
I want you to end on this.
Oh, I'm going to give you another thing
okay.
real quick. Real quick, for the people that are listening that have a little bit more bucks, we were really in the trenches with the people that got like $8 in their pocket. Let me level this up because I know who listens. I got a lot of friends that listen to this that got a couple more bucks. Airbnb. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
Okay. You want to make some money? Buy an Airbnb in New Orleans or Nashville or Vegas. Buy a little house. One of those kind of things where you just have to put a little bit down and this and that, and then put it on Airbnb. Now, don't do this just because I said so. Go learn for 6 months. Go look at the market. But there are people making real money.
I have friends who make so much money off of Airbnb. They said you could just get a condo like in Brooklyn, Airbnb it, people rent it out all the time.
Again, if you're the kid that's taking the bus and you got $2 to your name, that's not for you.
No.
But if you've got if you've been able to save a little bit and you think you're an entrepreneur and you're saving it for your kids' college, a couple things for all the people that
It's okay, Gary. People with money listen to this show.
I know, that's
Yeah.
why I'm going there. But I'm trying to go for that in between. I'm trying to go for that in between for the person that's safe. They're saving for their. I'm going risky here because I'm scared a little bit. That's why I'm treading water actually, not because I'm worried about how much people make. I think there's a lot of people who have $25,000 in the bank right now, and it's for their kids' college. And if they, again, disclaimer, because I don't need the email like you my life up. But if they do the homework, if they can put that money down on an Airbnb thing, they can make a lot more. And I'm always pushing offense. And so for those people, do a little homework on that. I think Envy set for me, put me in the right direction in this interview. Like, I'm giving you guys tangible now. I'm not rah-rahing you.
Right.
Now, also with the bank, I don't believe in banks per se. They don't bring you no money. I mean, you leave them in there for 40 years and you'll get 1%. What do you think about banks and people putting their money in banks? As far
Listen,
as
my
an investment?
dad does it all day, and he's got a couple bucks. He worked his ass off. It depends on how risk adverse you are. You're not making any interest, so it's safe. It's safe.
I make a little bit of money on mine in the bank in my savings.
A very little.
Yeah, a little, but that's money that I might need. I leave money in the bank if I might need it soon for something. Like we have these houses we bought in Detroit.
Go ahead.
We have the juice bar that we're about to open. I have money in the bank because I'm gonna need it for those things. I got a new roof. I'm getting a house demoed, and I need that money.
So you're not keeping it in the bank. You're holding it there to deploy. Right. Facebook. Facebook. I don't know what it is right now, $118 a share. I've been saying it since it was 60. Like, it's 118. Like, buy it. By the way, we made a joke of it earlier. If you got $118.28, go buy Facebook. One share. It'll make you $50 in a year. Like, I mean, so,
And you got some idiot out there saying that ain't no money, but that's where the patience comes into play.
Well, listen, my man, if you only got $118, you ain't got no money either. Like, it's no money for somebody who's got more. It's a lot of money for you. It sounds like it's 33% of your net worth.
Is it easy?
Right? Like it's all relative.
Right.
It's all relative. Like what I do now, the risks I take, I was making $44,000 a year when I was 27 years old. It's not like I was like it changes. But if you keep
what about real estate? I know you just talked about
real estate is
Airbnb.
tried and true. Real estate is tried and true. Real estate, I actually think, is the better version of a bank.
Right.
But you got to be smart. Like, I'm real impressed with what you're doing with Detroit. Pay attention. Dan Gilbert's buying it all up. It's all elevating. I'm also looking at Detroit.
I bought 2 houses. And
I'm
we bought
big
2
on
houses.
Detroit. I'm big on Detroit.
Detroit's good.
Is it easy for you to weed out who's built for it and who's not, just based off you having this conversation? You have 1 or 2 people that'll tell you that you're full of you got money, that's why you can talk like this, and then other people will be like, yeah, I'm going to adopt some of those philosophies.
Yes, then after actions. Like, you sometimes get caught. You know how it is in life. Somebody can play it right, but actions speak louder than words, right? Like, for example, for me, giving all this business advice, who the f*** am I? A lot of kids right now giving business advice, 22-year-old life coaches, shit like that. Like, I went and built a big business and made a lot of money before I thought I had the audacity to come out and talk and give advice. So I look at actions. Like, the first action the quickest tell that somebody's a loser is complaining.
Yes.
I agree.
Bernie Sanders is going to save me. You lost. You straight up lost. Let me save you time. You lost. If you think an old white dude from Vermont's saving you at the fucking White House, you lost.
You're going to have so many hashtags that say feel to burn.
That's
in your
fine.
mission today.
That's fine. And listen, and by the way, I'll set it straight. I appreciate you saving me some time because I would have had to go in there and be like, this is what I meant. I'm not mad at Bernie. I'm saying the same thing about Donald or Hillary. I'm mad at anybody who literally sits in a couch drinking a Budweiser, watching SportsCenter for the third time, is sitting there and saying Bernie's going to do it for me.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, Ange? I mean, like, seriously. Like, please check yourself. Like, pay attention. Like, take a snapshot of your life when you're actually complaining. When you're complaining, you're usually doing dumb at that moment.
I tell all my friends, if you keep on complaining and don't do something to change your situation, then you just need to stop saying it. You can say it one time and then go ahead and fix it, or work toward fixing it.
Your feelings, bro.
I don't complain. I'm with y'all. I don't complain. Well, you know what? We need
and
to
I got,
see
by the
more
way,
Pitt Gary.
Emmy, I appreciate that. I'll come
guy,
through.
man.
Emmy, let me say
Come get
this.
more.
By the way, it's $118.02 now, so we saved some money. Let me say this real quick because I think we're pushing in one direction. I like flipping. I like pushing from the opposite directions. I got a lot of friends that make a lot of money that complain. Back to you and me connecting on this. I got friends that are like, oh, I don't see my family enough. I'm like, you got $100 million space. Go see your family. Don't.
I can't wait till somebody can say that to me. You have $100 million.
No, but I mean, seriously, on the flip side, like, I have some of these business meetings because they know I hustle a lot. Like, that's my brand. And they'll try to placate to it, be like, oh, man, I'm working so much. Like, I'm missing my daughter. I miss it. I wish I had some more downside. I'm like, then do it. You'll never, ever hear me. Ever. I'm just setting it straight right now. Fine. Everybody pay attention for the next 50 years. Call me out on it. It's not coming. I'm not going to be like, oh, damn, I wish I had a little more rest. Or, oh, damn, I'm sad that I missed Misha's recital. Or, oh, damn, I missed Xander's baseball game. Or woe is me. I made my bed.
Lie in it.
There you go. I like this guy, Gary.
Now, listen, hold on, one more thing.
I like this guy.
For people that are just in their craft and they're comfortable, I like what you said. You said if you're not working on your craft, if you get too fancy to keep doing your thing, you lose.
The dirt. We talked about this, right?
Yeah.
Like when the streets don't with you anymore because you got fancy, because you got fancy paintings and you don't know what's happening in the street no more. Like, that's how I am as an entrepreneur, tying it to hip hop music. Like I still do all my Snap, all my Insta, all my Twitter. I respond to all of you that are gonna either talk or say what's up. When I heart that, when I reply, that's gonna be me. I'm doing it. Every time there's a new change, I'm on it. I'm a practitioner. I'm the architect and the Mason.
But I think that's very important with any business, that you have to breathe your
100.
business, and that's the
100.
reason why I will still do a party in Newark,
Always.
and I will still go to Alabama
Because you
and
can
go to
taste
Miami.
it.
Yeah, you can
Can
taste it, you can
taste
smell
it.
it, and you can touch it.
100.
And people who don't do that anymore
Lose it.
and own businesses and don't go back to their McDonald's or don't go to their Chick-fil-A, they lose it. I agree with
the
you.
most.
I like you, Gary V.
I appreciate it.
Gary Vaynerchuk, my guy, my favorite corporate thug
All right.
motivator, man.
Gary
Thank you, Andrew.
Go get his
Vaynerchuk.
latest book.
Gary V.
Come here, Jane. Put the Ask Gary V. It's my guy, man.
All
right,
right.
I
It's
gotta
the
get it.
Breakfast Club. Good morning. Okay, you got your hair done. Your hair looking fresh and fly today.
Thank you. I got my hair done. Now, you know the crew at Her Imports totally hooked it up. You see how good I look? I see why they're taking over this hair game, because nobody has hair this good.
I see these weave companies on Instagram everywhere.
I know, right? It's a hot mess. Every reality star or rapper jump off is trying to sell hair on Instagram. Her Imports are the industry pros. They have the real Indian hair. Y'all don't know? Check out the video on their website, herimports.com.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in